You are listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast, a proud member of the Canadian Football Podcast Network.
What do you do at this point?
Tasers.
Ooh.
One more penalty out of you and you're getting it.
Laps practice. Actually,
That'd be a
cow
fun
prod
job.
would be kind of
Cow
funny
prod
on
right
this,
on the side.
sidelines. Yeah, exactly.
That'd
yeah.
be a fun
Did
job.
you just get a penalty? Bend over. Welcome to the Empire. It's the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
Riley's in the shotgun, looking downfield, and then throws. It is up in the air to the goal line. Bounces. What a catch! What a catch by Duke Williams! Touchdown, Eskimos! Bryant Mitchell. It's going to be intercepted. Arjun Colhoun. 108 yards to the end zone. Vidal Hazelton.
Welcome back to the Turf District. I'm your host, Andrew, and this is the Eskimo Empire Podcast, brought to you by United Construction Company. You can find all they do at unitedconstruction.ca, and of course, please check us out as well at eskempire.ca for all of our social media channels, the blogs, and of course, all of the show links. Oh wait, I think the ref just threw a flag in here. Holding. Yeah, that's probably about right.
That sounds about right.
With me tonight, of course, is Commissioner Kayla. How are you? Oh, well, that was an interesting one.
It just popped out.
Just whatever comes out of that mouth. You never know.
Oh, boy.
No super fan again this week. He's on recovery from his bye week, so he'll be back. Look, they threw another flag in here. Illegal substitution, I guess.
Is Edwards here?
Wow, that's okay. Anyway, how was your weekend?
Oh, pretty good. Yeah. It was good, yeah.
How many football games you watch?
3.
Wonderful.
Yeah, out of the 4.
That's
Don't
okay.
get me started with TSN.
I know. We need to fix that. I know. I mean, I think it was, at least it was nice outside.
Yeah. Wasn't it? It was too hot.
It was too we can't complain about too hot. We
can.
We have so many minus 30s. We can't complain about
But
too hot.
I don't complain about those.
Oh,
so
okay. All right. Well,
I'm the
go
opposite.
then. Yeah,
I'm
okay.
the opposite.
Oh, look. There's another flag in here. This is truly art imitating life in the Empire. That's right. I think we all know what the fire truck is for this week. So
I couldn't guess.
Anyway, we have fun this week. Tailgate, of course, is on Thursday. We have a lot of people coming in from out of town. Jacqueline out of Ontario. We've got Ferland coming from Saskatchewan. We've got Aaron coming from Winnipeg. I am excited to meet all of these people. It's going to be a lot of fun this week. And one of the things I guess we excitingly get to have is we get to have the early game on.
Yeah.
Because of our wonderful new TV from UCC.
Oh, yeah, you know me.
Wonderful. See, now we're going to get it in more than once. That's fantastic.
I missed it again.
It's all good. It's all good.
And speaking of UCC, that leads us right to our featured fan this week. Joining us this week is Jeremy. How are you doing, man?
Good day. Good.
Good. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you for having me.
I knew I'd get you in here. I just had to wait until we had a win.
Yeah.
Just, okay. Yeah.
Okay. I know it's easier for you. I'm trying to make this easy for you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
That's good. That's perfect.
My podcast virginity needed that.
That's what I figured.
Well, we got you a few drinks in now.
That's
so.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about your fandom. When did you become a fan of the Esks?
Ever since I was watching it. So as a kid, Dad have the Eskimos on the tube, or if he had just happened to snag some of those tickets from at work or something, we'd end up going.
Yeah.
And I remember those way more than I ever remembered going to an Oilers game or anything. It was always the Eskimos.
Awesome.
It's always the Eskimos. So it has been from day one since I could pick up that football and just be like, yes, Eskimos.
That's so refreshing to hear.
Yeah, isn't it? It's nice, isn't it?
I like that.
Now, if you haven't caught the Periscope yet, you should check it out because you brought in your grandpa made that rug hook of the Edmonton Eskimos logo, which is outstanding.
Amazing.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So, do you have a favorite player of all time and now current player?
I absolutely do.
Excellent.
Oh,
See?
please.
It's like you listen.
Absolutely. I listened, I studied, I got this down.
Please elaborate.
Right there. My man Giz.
Oh,
classic.
yes.
You know, and I still remember that one play where he jumped and flipped over a guy. I think it was a Grey Cup. Or it was a playoff, one of the two.
It was a playoff one because
And
the Grey Cup one was all the way back in '87 against Toronto.
Yeah,
which was awesome.
and I still remember that in my head, watching it on TV and be like, "Oh my God, look at that man! That's amazing."
Awesome.
Yeah,
We like number 2 here as well, so that's good.
Yeah.
yeah, no, definitely. And he's so involved in the community. So how do you not like him, right?
Absolutely.
And-
Still, yeah.
And currently?
Currently, Sean White.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I had a blast listening to the podcast, and when I was in the gym, I almost dropped the weights on myself trying to listen to that one, but it was good. Yeah, no, we 2 Eskimo dinners ago, he sat at our table.
Oh, nice.
And got to know him there, and great character. Just
Awesome.
so many stories.
Yeah, and he's so easy to talk to, so
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
totally get that. Now, we talked a bit about the rug hook. Do you have any other memorabilia that are just kind of stand out to you as the special ones you have?
I collect it from like charity auctions and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
That seems to be the place where I've been collecting.
Okay.
And of course, any fundraisers that Lonnie's done for Rotary, he always knows that I'm coming. So it's like, oh yeah, look at Jeremy.
There's the
This new
Eskimo
one, Jeremy.
stuff.
I'm like, yeah, thanks.
What a coincidence.
Yeah.
What we have here.
Look what we have over here.
Yes.
All right.
So probably the biggest one is actually it's still at the stadium, is that large 2015 Grey Cup poster.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I did get it signed by Odell Willis, and he put Mayor Commonwealth on there. And everything.
Nice.
So it was nice. It was kind of cool to have that piece there. And
No
but,
kidding. That is fantastic. That is awesome.
I do have another one of these rug hooks, but it's an Oilers one.
Oh, okay.
And the dog decided that he thought what he thought of the season.
Oh,
and
that good, eh?
made a mark. So
Well, he picked the right one.
He
I mean,
picked-
he's gonna
absolutely,
pick one. I
yeah.
mean, really. I mean, on this show, we have to say that he picked the right one. That's
yeah, he
just
had the
how-
opportunity for this one too. No, he chose that one.
He
so,
chose that- okay.
yeah, no, so we're
He
good.
felt the sacredness oozing
Oh
from
yeah,
that
you
one.
don't touch this one.
That's right. No, exactly. Especially that logo. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love it. While you're here, let's talk about West of Us in the Park, because you've helped to set this all up. You messaged me that you had picked up a 14-foot inflatable screen and said, "Can we get people together to watch a football game?" And I said, "Yeah, we can. Let's find a way to do this."
Random texting.
Exactly. And West of Us in the Park was then kind of launched at that point. So August 9th, we've got about how many spaces do you think we've got spoken for? Like we have quite a few people coming already.
Yeah, I think we're up to about 16, 17 confirmed.
Awesome.
So there's going to be a fair bit of cars out there, and should be a good barbecue going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
now, we're going to have some barbecues there.
Yeah.
Everybody bring your own meat, and we're going to have a big tailgate. We're going to watch an early game. As we announced on the Periscope, we're going to do a fan poll for what game we're going to watch before we watch the...
2005.
2005? Okay, so we know what Jeremy's going for, the 2005 Grey Cup. Mike is putting together a special list that we will put that fan poll up as to what we are going to watch at West of Us in the Park. So we're going to watch that early. Now, you said we even got like bouncy castles for kids?
Yeah, we got a bouncy castle coming for the kids.
Awesome.
Wow.
Fantastic.
And Mike.
Wow.
And Mike.
Yeah.
The kids and Mike.
That's okay. That's good clarification.
You know.
I like that. Yeah, it's about right. Not me though. Just so you know.
Yeah, we're going to try and keep you out of there.
Out of there.
He'll
Okay.
just be like looking in, like,
Yeah, I know. The single tear
Yeah.
as I watch from
all
outside.
by myself.
Nice.
I'm actually going to play that.
That's perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's very helpful. We'll have some tunes going. We'll get the game on. And then, of course, 8 o'clock, BC Lions at Edmonton Eskimos in BC Place. And we're going to have it on the big screen, sit out on some chairs, and enjoy some Eskimo football.
And it's rain or shine.
Yeah.
If we're getting rain, or anything like that, we'll move it inside. We got the space for it and everything for everyone. So
awesome.
It's rain or shine. It's gonna be a good time.
This is gonna be. I'm so looking forward. I know we have a game this week that I'm still looking forward to, but I'm actually more excited for the game next week that isn't here because we're gonna do this. So again, if you want in on West of Us in the Park, make sure you let us know. DM us on Twitter or at EskEmpirePod, or of course email us eskempirepod@shaw.ca. So let's get into our game from last week, shall we? Esks win 44-23 over the Montreal Alouettes. This time we're just going to go with good and the what the So let's start with our good. Let's start with you, Jeremy. What kind of stood out with you as far as the good parts of the game?
There's a few really good things that I got to watch.
Absolutely.
Of course, them smacking the ball off the uprights is always a pleasure.
It's a yeah, I think it was you that texted me and said, "Can we make the uprights the MOP?" And I shortly tweeted out after, "Can Esks give the game ball to the uprights?" Yeah, it was kind of nice. Yeah,
yeah, and that pick by Grimes was just money.
Well, it was
that
great.
Was just gorgeous.
Beautiful jump.
Love to see that.
Old school Grimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we need more of that from Aaron Grimes. Mm-hmm. We need that coverage, those picks, those knockdowns right in. And that one was just beautifully read. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those big ones for you?
I got one more.
Okay, go ahead.
Stafford's backwards running catch, jump, leap, whatever you want to call that, and then skids into first for a touchdown. Yeah, that was...
Oh, that was Gable.
Gable.
You mean Gable,
yes.
Where he jumped up and grabbed that, and, man, like a one-hander, snags it, falls down, wasn't touched, gets up, touchdown. Beautiful play by CJ Gable. Absolutely. I totally agree.
Oh, yeah. No, I had that one. But Stafford had that one slide in the end zone at the back.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking
about.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, a great number of great touchdowns. You're just like, that was
there's
magic.
Lots of beauties.
Yeah.
Exactly. Kayla, what do you got for goods in this one?
Well, to reiterate, like the offense, albeit a slow start, actually looked like they were firing on most of their cylinders. Not
Absolutely.
all, and that is going to be my, not surprisingly, WTF will get there.
yes.
But I had, well, most notably, there were so many good things, but the two things that really stood out for me, of course, was what a pleasure it is to see Natej out there.
Absolutely.
Catching 3 catches for 33 yards, and just that beautiful catch right through the defender, right into Ajay's arms, and he just that is just beautiful football. And
Absolutely.
I'm so glad that everyone is starting to see what exactly Natey can do, because you have those guys that are kind of on the outliers, and they're not as noticed. But those are the guys that I adore even more, because they have something to prove. There might be a little chip on the shoulder. They might just be like, this is a game. I'm having fun. But I'll show you what I got as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Natey is one of those guys. And, if you ever get a chance to chat with him, he is just a super genuine, nice guy. Yeah. So he's a big old check in my book. And I'm so glad he's getting some time, despite the fact that other people aren't. But we'll get there.
Jeez, I wonder who she's talking about. Okay.
And then the other thing was Josh Woodman. Hello, 5 tackles and a sack. Good boy. Wait, that might be...
No, that's perfect. Yeah.
No, good man. Good man.
Okay, fair enough. All right, we'll let that.
Attaboy.
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 Was boy offensive? I don't know. You guys are boys,
really.
Men, whatever.
I'd be fine with that. You said good boy. I'd be okay with that.
No.
Sure.
I don't mind getting an attaboy once in a while.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Attaboy.
I haven't got the wink on that.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, yeah. People are going to save that clip just for their own use. Yeah.
I'm a soundboard.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so those are, and well, I think I know one of yours, so I'm not going to take it away.
Okay,
I'm not going to take it away, but I also I'll project that onto you because I agree.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I am going to start with Duke with another 100-yard game. That's 5 in a row, which actually ties him with Brian Kelly for 5 games in a row with the Eskimo record. So he has a chance this week, if he can get another 100-yard game, to actually set a new Eskimo record. The CFL record is 8 games in a row with 100 yards, and he's within striking distance, and the guy just doesn't seem to be slowing down. So
getting better.
I mean, Duke, he's catching more than he had a higher percentage catch in this game. Granted, it was one of the first games we weren't playing in some kind of nasty weather conditions, so we'll see if that changes at all. I want to give a shout out to Sean Money White, 3 for 3 on field goals and 5 converts. Very, very well. He just did amazing. And Edwards did not get a major foul.
What?
He got an illegal contact, which was 10 yards, but he did not get a major penalty. So that's the first time in 7 games. So I'm gonna give him a little bit of a pat on the back for that. He didn't get the big penalty.
I know. Out of your angst.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, you didn't fail.
I know. You didn't do the wrong thing.
You didn't fail much.
That's right. Yeah. And of course, we would be remiss if we didn't mention Mike Riley's MOP numbers. 24 for 32, 75%, 415 yards passing, 4 TDs, and 1 that he ran in himself. He's just, again, taking this team on his back, and it's just such a pleasure to watch as a CFL fan.
And that's what you call Mikey football.
Absolutely. And if you didn't take him in fantasy, you're cheap.
Yeah.
Right? That's according to Mike Riley. So I loved that, actually. I was so happy. And now the last one I'm going to save until after we go through our What the Fire Truck.
Was it my highlighted one as well?
It sure was. So let's go with What the Fire Truck. Do you have anything in this game, Jeremy, that kind of stood out to you, like the bad stuff? What's going on?
Well, I know there's one now. I'll leave that one for you. But,
okay, thanks. Yeah.
I think we all have it.
We all have the same
I think we
one.
all have it. Yeah, exactly. Watching Robinson not make those big returns, I think that we could do so much more if he could just get a few more yards out of those. And I know that's a whole team effort that they've got to do it.
Blocking. His blocking is atrocious.
Yeah.
Like he has no hole to run up.
An invisible wall. He just bounces off and it hits the ground. That's it.
That's true. That's true. I'll give you that. Yeah, absolutely.
And the other one that I really noticed, and I know you guys like Sellies and everything, but I was when they were doing their meditation celebration, I'm just like, get up quick before a penalty gets called. Get up.
Well, and see, you won't get penalized for that as long as they didn't have a prop. Like where he got the penalty the last time is because he used the towel.
Oh,
he used the towel. He pulled a towel out of his hand warmer and tucked it in as a napkin. Yeah. And it's the prop that got him the penalty. It wasn't the sitting. It wasn't the eating. It wasn't anything like that. It wasn't taking too long. It was the prop. So I knew actually that was kind of the same celebration, but done without the prop. Yeah. So he wouldn't get the penalty. So extra points.
You know what he should have just mimed a napkin and did it again. I'd be
but
like,
I love the meditation.
Shade.
They totally looked like they were, pulling out.
Namaste.
Yeah, exactly. I can tell you who liked that. Anto. She would, because she's big into yoga.
Oh,
She thought that was probably perfect.
I've always been the guy that like respected what Walker would do or Bowman. They would just drop the ball and walk off. Like, I do this every day.
Exactly. I get it. Yeah, absolutely.
Both are great.
But that one was entertaining. I did think it was funny.
Yeah.
Some What the Fire Trucks from you there, Miss Kayla.
Oh my gosh. I am getting I'm at the point of anger now. Where is Batman? I'm getting so frustrated. Don't put him on the active roster if you ain't gonna give him a few I know we have so many talented receivers, but this guy can do it. Let him show you. I don't get it.
Wow, that was very passionate. That was
you
a
could
passionate
feel it
What
in
the
the
Fire
room.
Truck. I know. Yeah,
Ceiling tile shook.
I kind of slid my chair back a bit. I don't know if you noticed that.
I have another one too.
Sure. Yes.
Well, this is kind of like are you stupid? But same thing. Let's be honest. Bede, who dat? Who dat? Anyone who Bede is? Like, I don't know what was going on. Who dat? Anyone?
Bidet.
Anyone?
You would like
anyone?
You mean Boris
Bidet?
Bidet?
Who?
Is that what it is?
Who dat?
Yeah. BD?
Oh!
That one.
God. Seriously.
It's, yeah.
That was, yeah.
Now, I've talked to Cliffy before, and he has referred to him as Bidet.
So what is it then?
I don't...
He's always been known as Boris Beatty.
To you, yeah.
No,
but,
on TSN, several
maybe
years.
They finally got it... I don't know what's right, actually.
Well,
was there an Exantigu?
I don't... Not that I know of.
No, it's just EE.
But, yeah. Well,
that's why I was making fun of him, because I'm like...
I think a lot of the Montreal fans this week are actually calling him Boris Bidet.
Bidet?
Yeah, because that's kind of what it was. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
All right. Can I get to my What the Fire Truck now?
Oh, yeah.
191 yards of penalties. 2 fields of penalty. Like, are you kidding me? 17 penalties.
Amateur hour.
Now, they had 11 of those in the first half of football for 143 yards. If this is against any other team but Montreal, I don't think the score is what it is.
It would have been destroyed.
No.
Like,
it's terrifying.
It absolutely is terrifying. And so much holding. Like, and now Mike Riley talked after the game, and he said they're football penalties, right? And I get that to a point, but holy crap! Like, if you're going up against a team that has a real defensive line, which we're doing this week, you can't be holding. Like, they're taking away massive plays.
Yeah,
and it's like the penalties were just ridiculous, and it's all about not executing the pass interference, the holding, the offside. Jumping in offside. Although a couple of offsides I actually don't usually mind because they're jumping and trying to get to the quarterback. So I usually will let a couple of offsides pass.
but it's still counted as a penalty, right?
No yards when the guy catches the ball in the air. Like these are things that just an objectionable conduct. Any of those types of, like, we had 2 15-yard penalties in this game. One was the ball in the air. And it's just like, you just can't give guys that much field in this game and expect to win. Like that's the part that drives me absolutely around the bend.
Well, if the referees are going to be looking at the holding because you keep doing it, you got to get more discipline at it.
And in order to justify that, for Mike to say, like, I get what he's saying, but in order to justify that should be reflected in every team. Then every team should be up to par with the holding penalties, but they're not.
Yeah.
So that's really unfair to say that they're just football penalties. Well, yeah, they are, but at the same time, other teams aren't screwing up that badly or that royally.
Usually you're going to get one.
A couple, maybe more. One,
maybe 2 in a game. But when you start seeing 3 and 4 and you start seeing all these things going on, it's just like, come on, guys. You need to stop shooting yourselves in the foot.
Yeah.
And they need to wrap that up when they start playing some of these stronger teams.
But like how though? Because even Moss is apparently at a loss of how to control these. Like, what do you do at this point?
Tasers.
Ooh.
One more penalty out of you and you're getting it.
At practice. Actually,
that'd be a fun job.
Would be kind of funny
right on the side.
Sidelines. Yeah, exactly.
That'd be a fun job.
Did you just get a penalty? Bend over. I know it's going to be fantastic, but anyway, that part. I mean, that's my biggest WTF. So let's go back to something positive. I need to talk about this. EarthKwaku, the return of EarthKwaku.
Huge.
3 sacks. He was a presence in the backfield all night.
Yeah.
I want to be fair to Montreal. It is a fairly new offensive line. They had new guys in and trying to learn schemes and things, but I don't think Kwaku is to be denied no matter what that offensive line was, because he was amazing. So we decided that we would talk to one of the bright spots in the game this week, and we welcome in once again, friend of the show, the one and only EarthKwaku. It is Kwaku Boateng. How's it going, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show today.
Absolutely. We love chatting with you. Especially when you come off a performance like that. I mean, 3 sacks in a game, the sack trick, as they call it. That's kind of a nice comeback from the little minor injury that you had. So is the game in general kind of slowing down for you now that you're in your second year, or was it just you had one of those nights?
Honestly, I think it's a combination of both of it. I think as I developed in my career, and also I forget how young I am in my career. It's just the things I'm starting to see things a little more. I'm starting to be able to match certain play styles that O-linemen present to me and put them in categories. Like, he's super aggressive and whatnot. I'm able to read offensive tackles a bit better, and I think a huge part of it is also, again, the locker room is so great. My first year here with Eskimos, I feel like I met so many great people and so many people that wanted to help you at such a high level. So that's still there this year, and also the addition of Coach Maxey as our D-line coach definitely helps a lot. He provides me with a lot of confidence, and honestly, it's a good relationship between me and him, so I feel like I have a lot more confidence when I'm on the field.
Did you do anything different during the off-season training time?
During the off-season, I think I kind of grasped what all the older guys taught me, like Odell, Mondo, and people like Euclid, and also Bowers. They taught me certain things about the season, how to take care of my body, and I just kind of just translated that or brought that over to the off-season. And obviously, I knew that this was going to be a big year for me, and I already set the standard last year, so I knew that I wanted to work really hard this offseason, so I can come back and touch with people.
That's awesome. Oh gosh, we just love talking to you, Kwaku. So with Twitter, I know that you had recently put just how people had doubted you with your football career. How did you, I guess, prepare mentally coming into the CFL, and how do you prove to yourself mostly that those doubters that kind of didn't really believe in you as much because you were apparently smaller, which is not a thing here.
Yeah.
But how did you overcome those obstacles of people kind of telling you that you're not going to be good enough, kid?
Yeah. Well, I think like back in high school, it wasn't that big of a deal for me because back in high school, I didn't know how far football was really going to take me, right? Obviously, I wanted to focus on school and whatnot. And in grade 12, when I got the opportunity to go to multiple schools, and I realized that there is something there for me for football. And luckily, I was able to go to Laurier and get a good degree out there, my best degree out there, and also play football out there. So it really just came down to like what I wanted, and it didn't really matter what the outside people were describing me as. I remember going to university, coming in like 205 and playing defensive end. So that's very, very small. I found a way to make it work. Over the years, I gained weight, and then similar situation happened when I wanted to go into the CFL. People were saying that I was undersized to play just from the end. A lot of teams wanted to see whether I could even play linebacker. But all of it came down to just self-belief and just self-discipline, just telling yourself that you are who you are, and you've come so far. At that point, I was like, I made it to the CIS. I was a great player of the CIS, so I was like, why can't I reciprocate this the next level? So it really came down to just believing in yourself, and that's the biggest part of it, and confidence. And again, like the locker room and the relationships I've built with basketball have helped generate more confidence.
Absolutely. Like, talent does not come in a generic box. So to see people overcome, like yourself, and to dominate this year so far, like, it's awesome to see, Kwaku.
I wanted to ask you, just because you talked about all of the guys that were helping you as far as on the defensive end side. What's it like working with the new guys? You've got Bazzi and Rivers and Usher around, and I mean, Allen you worked with a bit last year, but what's it like with that new group?
The new group is a lot. Well, I would say it's a lot younger, obviously, and with a lot younger, with a group that's a lot younger this year. I feel like we're just a lot more explosive. We got a lot of excitement, a lot of energy behind us, and you can really see that in our meeting rooms when it's just us in the D-line room. So this and again, I have another year, so I feel a bit more comfortable in the CFL and in the excellent organization. So I'm starting to come out of my comfort zone and whatnot. So I'm starting to get more into my comfort zone prior. So I think this year we just gel a lot more just because we're so much closer in age and whatnot. And again, with Coach Maxey being our coach, he really helps facilitate a very healthy environment for us. And I'm having a lot of fun this year playing with this young D-line, and I hope that we're showing on the field.
Yeah, I would say so. You guys are doing really well. Who's the joker of the bunch?
There's a lot of jokers in the field. He's probably one of the oldest next to Mondo, but he's hilarious. He's the type of guy that just what he does is just funny. It won't be a joke or anything. It's just something he says, and there's this cracker going up. And Darius is probably our number one joker. He's always keeping us on our toes, making us laugh. He's a great addition to the D-line.
Awesome.
Onyanka got drafted here, which is something you wanted from Laurier. Are you taking more of a mentor role for him this season?
Yeah, it kind of fell into like that. Fell into that role. And it's funny because Onyanka is actually older than me.
No way.
So sometimes I forget that. But he's a player that, again, he came from the same coaching staff as me back in college. So he understands how to work hard, and he has a drive to be great. So there's not that much mentoring that I have to do for him. It's more so just teaching him how to take care of his body and what to do in order to make those make the coach's head turn, right? So really, I've slowly became a mentor for him, but again, he's old enough to make his own decisions. So I'm glad that he's here because that just strengthens the Laurier connection here.
Awesome.
You've had a lot of East opponents so far. Is it exciting when the Riders are here and it's a big crowd and big divisional matchup? Is that getting things going for you?
I actually always look up at the stadium. Every time we walk out, that's the first thing I want to look at and look at the fans in the stadium. And it just energizes me. So the more people there are in the stands, the more energetic I get. So obviously this game's going to be huge. You're going to have obviously our fans in our green and their fans in their green, and it's just going to be a great battle, and I'm just excited to play the game.
Yeah, we definitely want you to go after Bridge just a bit this game.
Well, it's going to be Collaros, so that'll be a difference. It keeps changing.
Well, regardless, go after him.
Yeah,
go after him hard.
Exactly. Now, most important question for you, Kwaku. Is EarthKwaku finally catching on?
I think so, slowly but surely. I know sometimes on the social media of default social media, they'll use that hashtag and whatnot, or use that name. It is slowly catching on, and it's funny when I had that shirt on during the offseason, people were like, "I don't get it." I don't have to explain it to them. They just read it as two separate words, right? And then they don't configure it into one word. They'll be like Earth and Kwaku.
Right, yeah.
So I'm trying to educate people how to walk by with this shirt on and say, no, you got to think of it as one word. Then they're all like, oh my God, that makes sense. And the people with some science background can understand why, what a Richter scale is and why 93 is absurd to be on a Richter scale. It's a smart joke. It's a funny joke, but it's exactly what I like in shirts.
Well, and I think what we need now, though, is we need an appropriate celly after a sack. Like, you need to shake the ground or something. Like, there's got to be something exciting like that.
I was hoping that the home run hit would symbolize, like, the hit of the ball.
Oh.
So strong.
Nice.
that impact. That force, that inertia of the bat. The ball I'm hitting will cause an earthquake.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
That's what I was kind of hoping. Because all my buddies always tell me, yeah, you guys smash it down and do like a Hulk smash. That's really cool.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Yes.
After a sack, I'm pretty tired. I don't know you to smash the ground repeatedly. I think I'm going to stick with my home run celebration.
That's awesome. Well, as always, it is always awesome to talk to you, Kwaku. Tell everyone again where they can kind of follow you online and get some of your stories and stuff like that as you're going through.
Yeah, for sure. If you ever want to keep up with me on Twitter or on Instagram, it's just my first name, Kwaku Boateng. So it's just KWAKU BOAT. Instead of an E, it's a 3NG, and you can find me, and I'd love to talk to you guys.
Man, I tell you, I love it, and the new shirts are in, so we're going to have new shirts for all the guys in the locker room and new shirts for people getting them here, and I love sporting my EarthKwaku. I'm going to have it on this Thursday when you're beating up the Riders.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for the interview.
Oh, man, that was fantastic. I love talking to Kwaku.
Such a good dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good.
One of my favorites on the team, easily. Yeah, just easy to talk to, great dude, and funny. I mean,
so funny.
Yeah, it makes me laugh. So, a couple of Esks news items that we have for this week. We did re-sign linebacker Jeremiah Kosi. As it turns out, we do have some negative parts in there as well. Hakuna Matata, Blair Smith, both to the 6-game injured list. And we did have... I know.
Like, both were like starting to really pick up.
All of our Canadian strong side
Damn it!
Not good. Anyway, returning to the field, though, this week, Hightower was back, Moore was back, Jamil Smith was back. They all have another game on the 6-game list, so they won't be able to return this week, but they may return next week. It'd be interesting to see, actually, if Colquhoun is back this week or not, because I know he practiced last week. He could be back this week, but Dave Campbell gave me the impression that he wasn't quite ready to be back yet. So we'll see where he ends up. Now, the Eskimos did actually close practice for Wednesday as this show comes out, which is a little bit odd. But I think it's just because this game is so huge, and it's Chris Jones and the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and you got to plan some stuff.
Ears everywhere.
You never know. There's people writing notes in the stands.
I think there's someone out in the hallway.
Probably. Yes.
Chris Jones just like peeks around the corner.
I'm going to tell you right now, they're throwing it to Duke Williams, just so you know, just for the person who's listening. Of course, this game as well, we mentioned it last week. There is a carryover this week. 70,000 is carried over for the 50-50 this week, and it is Purolator Tackle Hunger Night. We will mention that again. Make sure that you bring all of your perishables to the game. Make sure you bring all of your non-perishables to the game.
Bring your potatoes.
Bring your potatoes, yeah. Bring your non-perishables to the game, and we will make sure they get in for all the Purolator Tackle Hunger. And we want to set that record. We have the perfect amount with the 50-50 up. Saskatchewan Roughriders here. A beautiful Thursday night. Let's set the record. Let's bring out your food and help out the people for Purolator Tackle Hunger.
And you can drop it off early if you don't want to carry it on the bus.
Yes, absolutely. They can drop off at the store,
those
right?
early drop-offs at the store.
So. Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the store actually now has red bags that you can actually pick up and then fill it with the non-perishable items and bring them back to the store even prior to the game on Thursday. So it's a great way to get involved and help out the Edmonton Food Bank, so make sure that you're doing that.
But you can also do monetary donations, too.
Absolutely.
Every dollar is, what, £2?
Yeah.
I think that's how they work
That's
it.
how they're counting it? Yeah.
Exactly. So let's get out there and set the record as we should here in Edmonton.
Absolutely.
We'll take a really quick break here. We'll come back with our CFPN game preview and our pick'em and fantasy picks for this week.
Hey, this is Ryan King
and Calvin McCarty,
and you are listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
The Eskimo Empire Podcast is brought to you by United Construction Company. As a full-service commercial general contractor, United Construction Company serves large and small-scale commercial, light industrial, and multifamily residential construction projects across Western Canada. UCC is a relationship-focused builder, forming a trust and respect that is at the forefront of their commitment to quality, value, and integrity. Visit their website at unitedconstruction.ca to find out more and support them as they support the Empire.
Get loud for me. Get loud for me. Get loud for me. Hands in the crowd, we tearing it down.
You can join the Empire online.
Find us at eskempire.ca.
Check out all the new blogs and then follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
For more history, follow @EsksHistory on Twitter.
And even more of my picks on Esk Empire Photo.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to help the pod grow. Thanks again for listening. Let's get back to the show. Welcome back. Unfortunately, just like last week, there is no Esk's history moment this week. But hopefully Sir Mike will be back next week with more for you. So it is time for our pick'ems. The leader after this week, we actually have a tie in the pick'ems in our group right now between Jake Sperling and Vic L. So that's kind of cool. You don't often see a tie in pick'ems, so that's really cool. I moved up a little bit, got up to 32nd. You and Mike are sitting 54, 56.
I did so well this week.
I know. So you had a good week. You got to pick those scores. I think you need the bonus points.
I did.
I think that's where I know, but just gotta
accurately.
Nail them. That's what I meant. Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but you got it. Yeah, accurately would be good. Let's go to our games this week. So the first game, of course, is the early Thursday game, which will be shown on the TV from UCC at the tailgate. So make sure you come to that. Ottawa versus Toronto. This one is in Toronto. Jeremy, you're the guest, so we start with you first. Who would you have in this game?
I'm thinking Ottawa.
All right, fair enough. You don't think the change in quarterback will fix everything in Toronto?
No, and it's Toronto.
It's at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and it's in Toronto. Okay, well, fair enough. All right, what do you got there?
You were gonna were you gonna call me Superfan Mike?
Almost, because I was gonna look up his picks. That's why I got all screwed up. So
he stole his share. So
exactly,
I do look quite similar.
Nope. Okay, so what do you have there, Commissioner Kayla?
Oh, I really just want Toronto to win. Mostly, I don't know what it is, but Ottawa's really just grating on my nerves. Especially after that last game. As soon as that game ended, I was like, Ottawa.
Yeah, I get that.
But I don't know how Toronto is gonna pull out this win, even if it's at home. I'll say Ottawa.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. I really want to pick Ottawa. I really want to pick Toronto in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Because then that means that Bethel Thompson what the hell is McLeod Bethel Thompson? That's his name.
That's his whole name?
Yeah, he has 3 last names as a name, and James Franklin has 2 first names. That was totally off Piffle's pot. I totally stole that from them. But anyway, if McLeod Bethel Thompson has a great game and Toronto wins, then that means that they move Franklin down. Then Franklin can come back here next year. I mean, that's really what I'd like to have happen. But no, Ottawa's winning this game, and Superfan picked Ottawa as well. All right, our second game, of course, is then the Eskimos versus the Riders, 8 p.m. on the brick field at Commonwealth Stadium. Our Uncle BD stats moment for the game. This is game 3 of 5 Thursday night games for the Esks this year, and this is the only one they have at home. And this is the second time the Esks opponent is on only 5 days rest. Another one I want to add in there, that Mike Riley needs 139 yards passing to move into 20th all time in CFL passing. So he is moving up those charts rather quickly. So I expect that he will get at least that. Now, before we get to the Eskimo side of the ball for the Canadian Football Podcast Network preview, we are joined by the one and only at Safamod, better known, I guess, as Steve from the Piffles Podcast. Thanks for joining us, man. How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing great, guys. How we doing?
Doing well. I'm glad you could join us in this evening, as it turns out, for a second time in a matter of 24 hours, because it's obvious that Chris Jones continues to screw the Empire.
It was just the interview so nice, we had to do it twice, right?
That's right. That's what it is. Yeah. Somebody thinks we need to talk a lot, and I'm okay with that.
Absolutely.
So tell me about today. I mean, my goodness, here we are a few days away from this big game on Thursday, and we've got the release of Jerome Messam for obviously very good reasons that we don't need to get into, but the release of Jerome Messam, Collaros is back, activated off the 6th game, and looks like he will be the starter. Deron Carter is actually playing on the offensive side of the ball. It's a lot of changes in a matter of a day for the Riders.
Honestly, basically everything we talked about yesterday, absolutely pointless because it's all flipped on its. Brandon Bridge isn't playing. Deron Carter's not on defense. Jerome Messam isn't even involved in the game. There's never a dull moment in Chris Jones's Rider Bill. We've just learned to expect that. I'm just glad that this happened on Monday, not on Wednesday, so that our entire show tomorrow night isn't completely moot.
I know it's kind of what that's like. It's crazy to me. They make all the changes. I mean, obviously, I know you guys have been kind of talking a lot about Deron going back onto offense, and I think that actually does make a huge difference on that offense. I think you'd agree.
It gives whoever's at quarterback a legitimate second option to throw to, but more, it opens up Roosevelt more, which right now he's the clear number one amongst a bunch of rookies, and this gives him another veteran guy on that receiving core to kind of help him out, and it takes Deron Carter, as well as he's played over the last 3 games, it takes him off of defense, puts him where he belongs. You got to have a playmaker like that getting the ball in his hands as often as possible, not just when he's lucky and gets an interception.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess you're not really hurting as far as running backs are concerned when you've got Trey Mason and you've got Thigpen back there that can still rotate and bring the lightning, as they say, of the thunder and lightning in the running game.
The only thing missing is that Thunder. We don't really have a legitimate power back unless somehow Trent Richardson makes a random appearance back in green and white. I mean, there is no other power running guy within the organization right now, which it sucks if we've got a lead in the fourth quarter, but really we got to get there first, and Messam wasn't the guy to get us there through three quarters.
And that's true. He hasn't really played a whole lot to this point. So what do you think on the defensive side of the ball? Now that we removed Duron Carter and it looks like Nick Marshall is back, what does this defense have to do to try and slow down the Eskimo offense?
Honestly, all you can do when it comes to Duke Williams and Mike Riley is contain. You will not stop them. I mean, I've already pretty much guaranteed Williams is going to get another 100-yard game. He's on another level right now compared to any other receiver we've seen in years. It's incredible to watch. I hate to see it as a Rider fan, but as a CFL fan, what he's doing is insane. I want to see him surpass 2,000 yards. Ooh. Is that too much to ask?
Not at all. No, I think
I hope only 50 of them come against us, and he just completely torches Calgary or Winnipeg. That's fine, but I mean, it's good for the CFL to see a guy like, we need more playmakers like that. You got to stop him. You got to do your best to hold him out of the end zone. I mean, we've done pretty well over the last few games stopping the run, so CJ Gable doesn't scare me all that much. But the passing attack that you've got with Riley, no matter who he's throwing to, is the key to an Edmonton victory in my mind.
Talk about Duke Williams. I do have to ask you, the celebration, the meditation celebration last week, did you like it?
I love any kind of celebration. I don't care who does what. If these guys are having fun, it's more fun to watch. I don't even care if he scores against us and doesn't. I mean, you don't want to see a guy celebrate, keep him out of the end zone. When he gets there, have all the fun you can. I love the guys who just hand the ball off and walk away, but I love the guys who celebrate more.
Yeah,
it's just fun. Football is supposed to be entertainment.
Diversity is our strength, so we might as well have a diversity in Sally's.
There you go.
Perfect. Let's talk about the strength, or what I feel is the strength of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and that would be their defensive line. They've been able to bring pressure even rushing 3 or 4, of course. With the Chris Jones defense, you know that the pressure is going to be coming from all over the place. What do you think about that defensive line, and do you actually think that is the strength on the Saskatchewan Roughriders right now?
Right now, 100%. It's not even close. And the thing I love the most right now is we're not seeing the 3-man rush on 50% of plays anymore. We're actually seeing consistent pressure. We're seeing 4, 5, 6 guys rush on a regular basis. And when you've got a guy like Charleston Hughes on one end and Willie Jefferson on the other, it's kind of the equivalent of trying to stop Duke Williams on offense. They're going to get their pressures. They're going to get their hits. I mean, Calgary's got, in my mind, one of the top O-lines in the league, and still Hughes had another 2 sacks last night, even though every Stampeder fan thinks he's too old. I love that D-line, and we talked about it all preseason, and I'm just glad that they made us look smart for once and actually are performing at the level we expected.
Oh, that is kind of nice to see when you have that expectation and then they show up the right way. I think this is your classic game of great offense against great defense, and on the other side of the ball for both of us, it's kind of like offense for you guys and defense for us. Do you think that's is that a good way to describe the game?
Absolutely. Our offense is. Yeah. There you go. Our offense is, to put it bluntly, offensive. I mean, we just don't move the ball, and we don't have a deep threat. Although with Caleros coming back, I feel like they might actually open the playbook up a little bit. I mean, I love a conservative offense if they're going to move the ball, but screen passes and runs up the middle, I can only handle so many of those before I reach for another beer. I just can't do it.
Well, and I have to think the return of Caleros, though, does hopefully change that a touch.
Well, and it does. It gives them a quarterback that I feel like Chris Jones has confidence in. He talks the talk, but he's not walking the walk when it comes to giving Brandon Bridge an opportunity. But Bridge hasn't really earned one. I mean, he's not hitting the 3 and 5 yard screen passes with any accuracy. Why would we trust him to go downfield? And as much as I'd love to see that next great Canadian quarterback, it's not Brandon Bridge. We've seen his ceiling, and I hate it, but that's where we are. And Caleros at least gives us something to. He gives us that MOP quality quarterback, even if that's 3 years ago. I have a lot more faith with him behind center.
Oh, I can understand that. I know it scares the heck out of me, so that's how that goes.
Good.
Okay. Now, big question. I know everybody wants to ask this. How long does it take you to paint your face before a game?
It takes me absolutely zero time at all.
Really?
I sit there. Yeah, I don't do anything. My wife does it all.
I don't enjoy.
Yeah, I sit there, have a beer, watch hopefully another CFL game that's on before. But yeah, it takes my wife a solid 2 hours.
Wow.
From she is a saint.
No kidding. Yeah. Tell your wife she gets
level.
Tell she gets Empire points just for that. That's pretty impressive. Well, Steve,
he's a trooper.
Absolutely. We love having you on and chatting some Riders asks. I know this game is going to be a tight one. I'm very excited for this game this week. Give us the information. Where does everybody find your guys' podcast, and where do they find you online and all those types of things?
Yeah, for sure. You can find us on pretty much anywhere you usually search a podcast: Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes, Spotify now, apparently.
Nice.
Just search out Pipples Podcast. You can check our website, pipplespodcast.com, or usually the best place to find us is Twitter, again, at PipplesPod. And you can follow me at Safamod.
Awesome. Thanks, man. I'd say good luck on Thursday, but that would be totally empty.
Don't
so
lie.
I'm basically just going to say, let's hope for a good game.
Yes. Entertaining.
Let's be entertained, right?
Yes.
Yeah, let's be entertained, and let's hope the Riders win. Right?
Let's not hope that.
No. You got the first part right. Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Steve.
I was hoping I could slip that in there, but no.
Nicely done. All right, enjoy the game, and we'll chat again very soon, my friend.
All right, take care, guys.
All right, we are back, and always a pleasure to chat with Steve. He's a good dude, and I'm glad that he could join us twice to talk about this game, as it turns out. Let's talk about the Eskimos side of the ball. So we got to talk about the keys to the win here. Let's start with you, Jeremy. What do you think the Eskimos have to do to pull out the win in this game?
Well, if the penalties weren't the obvious one.
Yeah, well, that is the obvious. Okay, yeah, that's true. That's fair.
Really closing that pocket.
Yes.
The more time you're going to give that quarterback, the better chances he's got to pick someone off. Even just deciding to run it or shuffle pass or something. You just got to get right at him, get him, and shut that opportunity down.
Well, and Caleros is his first game back. He's going to have some rust, right? So you want to put some pressure on and see if he can handle the pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% agree. 100% agree. Kayla?
Yeah. Our O-line definitely has to make sure that they're protecting Riley without getting the holding calls.
Yes.
Keep him on his feet. Allow him time. Put Mitchell on the field. What did I say? And obviously, too, our secondary has to be sharp because with Duron Carter coming back, I mean, he is pretty dope when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. Not so much the defensive side of the ball.
Well, he's getting better, but yes, okay, yeah. Again, your sound effects just make it all. That's what makes it so much fun.
But like Jeremy said, the obvious, control the dang penalties. My goodness. Yeah. We just have to be sharp. I think that's the key. Chris Jones doesn't come in here with any expectations other than to win, as many coaches do. But with him, you have to keep both eyes open and then some when it comes to Chris Jones, because he is very unpredictable. But what we really have to do as fans is turn up, light it up, and shut those Riders down quick and be loud, because they're going to come in here being all, this is our stadium because there's so much more of us and there's only a huge attendance because of us. Y'all need to shut up, and we need to turn up, light it up. Let's go, CFL fans. Oh, just kidding. No, Eskimo fans.
Let's keep the melon heads quiet. Eh?
Exactly.
This is fantastic. I love having you here, Kayla. That's so awesome.
Don't shut up.
I think the key to the win is to try and solve the defense. Our offense can be very potent if they can get out of their own way.
Yep.
And they got to find a way to get around that offense, or that defense. The defense in Saskatchewan is unreal. And so and now they've actually made it better by putting Deron Carter back on offense. So
yeah.
I think there's I really think that is the key to the game. The offense has really got to step up. The defense can play kind of in the middle because their offense is kind of hit and miss. But our offense has to be able to get by that. If our offense can't put points on the board, we're going to have a hard time winning this game.
This could be a low-scoring game.
It could be, absolutely. Yeah, it could be a Sean White special.
Yeah,
lots of kicking.
We're okay with that.
Really coming down to that kick.
Yeah, and that could be interesting because the Saskatchewan kicker is also very good. He did very well last week, so I think it could be an interesting game.
He's no money.
He's no money. I totally agree.
We got a few dollar bills up on that guy.
Yeah, that's very true. All right, our picks for the game. Kayla, you get to pick first. Who are you picking?
Well, I'm not picking the Riders against my Eskimos. Like, no. The Eskimos,
right. Okay, perfect.
As I stare at you with derision.
Yeah,
anyway, Jeremy?
You can stare at me with derision. I'm picking the Riders to win this game. I know, but their defense just has impressed the crap out of me the last 2 weeks, and yet
they've lost against Montreal.
But if they shut down the offense, I don't know that we have enough to hold them back. That's my worry.
Mike Riley.
I know we have Mike Riley, and I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong in the worst way. But
you gotta go with your gut. What are you going on, Jeremy?
And right now I'm frustrated, so that's where I'm going. Superfan picked Edmonton as well. Jeremy?
Oh, green gold all the way.
All right.
Yeah, I don't. But I agree.
All of you are
still
true fans.
Think
I'm just a fake.
It's gonna be a low scoring game. I don't think we're gonna see, because of their stronger defense, our strong offense are just gonna really probably balance out to some kicks.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm terrified.
Oh, I'm scared. There's no doubt about it. I totally am. And I don't want to be. I want it to just be like we're going to destroy Chris Jones, and every time Saskatchewan loses, it makes me happy. So it needs to happen, but I'm having my gut is just going crazy on this one. So
bring out the cowbells.
Exactly. Okay.
We need more cowbells.
All right. Friday night game, Hamilton versus Montreal, and this one is in Montreal. I guess I get to pick first on this one, don't I?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, being that Johnny Manziel was likely going to start the game. Now, Kayla, did you take account of how many times they talked about him when he was on the bench last week?
I said I would, and I did.
I knew you would.
Yes. Since that, well, I guess thankfully, since that Stamps Riders game is still on TSN, I went back and I rewatched our game.
Okay.
And, well, let's just say you better have a cab ready to get your stomach pumped, my friends. If you are doing the drinking game of every time Manziel is mentioned or alluded to, which they are not coy about it at all.
No.
Or subtle.
No.
So I even broke it down by quarter. So in the pregame, it was all Manziel.
Of course.
So they said Manziel 6 times.
Okay.
Just in the pregame, that was like, 3, 4, 5 minutes?
Okay.
And then the first quarter was 8 times.
Yeah.
Second was 4.
Oh, that was our good quarter.
That was
Yeah.
good quarter,
Yeah, that's right.
Third was 9.
Yeah.
And fourth was 10.
So the more, the later it got in the game,
Because they got bored.
that they need.
So they're like, what else are we going to talk about?
It's like when you're playing Winnipeg. All they talk about is their love affair with La Police.
Oh, I guess to some degree,
They
yes.
throw the camera up there. There's our friend La Police. Love that guy.
I also did skip the halftime, so that would have
that
made it
probably would have
more.
made a
So
bit more. Yeah, exactly.
just the game was 31 counts. So
man.
31 shots.
Wow.
Including the pregame 37, and I believe the halftime, I think off the top of my head, was 3 or 4. So you're looking at 40 plus shots.
Holy
You will be
jeepers.
dead.
Can you imagine offline how many times they've said it?
It's ridiculous. So
And can you imagine how many times they're going to say it this game?
he's starting this week, I think, against his old team in Hamilton. And
He spent
Hamilton's
so
going to
much
win.
time
Okay, so Superfan picked Hamilton. Jeremy?
Oh, Hamilton.
Okay.
Definitely.
And Kayla?
Holy Mazzoli.
The return of Oli Mazzoli. Hamilton wins that one.
Can we just appreciate, though, that comeback? Like, they almost had it in the bag. That was so beautiful.
Almost. just couldn't quite pull it off. So close. Saturday game, BC versus Calgary. It is down in the McMahon Stadium. I wanted to find something nastier to say, but I couldn't think of it. Jeremy, you're up. Actually, I guess it's Superfan is up, and he picked Calgary. Jeremy, who are you picking?
I'm going to go with the long shot in BC on this.
Ooh,
that's
nice.
fun.
Maybe shake something up. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you're
Would
right.
not mind that at all.
Not at all.
Maybe Bo has too many hot wings the night before and just
has a rough go.
Rough go of it.
The running is not as comfortable as it was.
It's
before.
a different kind of running.
That's a different. Okay, yeah, perfect.
Odell's licking his chops to get a piece of Mitchell.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't mind that. Okay, Kayla.
Calgary.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, whatever. 7-0.
I hope you're right though, Jeremy.
Best regular
Fingers
season
crossed.
team ever. That's right. Good for them. All right, let's talk about fantasy football, shall we? Now, Jeremy, are you playing the fantasy football this year?
This is. I feel shame. This is the first year I heard about it.
Oh,
So
wow.
Welcome to my list.
definitely next year.
Okay, well,
I'm
we'll
signing up for this.
you can even sign up now. You
Well, I
won't get
could,
to the top, but you learn. This is how you learn. See, I'll show you. Okay. So Matt Pretty is still our leader. Now, he had a bit of an off week, actually, and still leads by 35 points. So he built up a good lead there. Now, I moved up to 8th. But I guess I mistakenly used bonus dollars, which I didn't expect to do.
What's that?
So I guess I'm disqualified. But well, they have bonus dollars, but if you're in certain leagues, you're not supposed to use them.
So what's the point of them?
In other, well, for regular, you can decide in your group whether you're going to use them or not.
Oh, I see.
But
okay.
because you set one lineup and it applies all of your groups.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I thought I had said no thanks, but I guess it said yes, and oh well, frick, whatever.
You won.
So I moved up to 8th. Sweet, that
Default.
worked. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Needless to say, for this week, I think there's a few good options. Obviously, Holy Mazzoli will be a big pick. I think going up against the Montreal defense, I would have to think that. Probably Eric Rogers out of Calgary is probably another good pick. That now he's getting a little bit on the expensive side. You may want to look at somebody like Markin Michel, who is going to play that inside slot for Calgary against a BC defense that is still having a little bit of a hard time on the long ball. So that might be one that you might want to look at.
Did they sign someone in Young's place, or did they just move someone?
I think they
onto
just
the
moved.
roster?
They moved
Okay.
Orange over, and he's now playing there.
Okay. Who is what's okay? What's his old name again?
AJ Jefferson.
And he chose to go with Orange.
I don't know.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. I like the pause. That's good. So he did that, and so now Marcel Young is a Saskatchewan Roughrider, and all we can hope for is that he starts this Thursday.
That would be wonderful.
Well, this has been fun, you guys. I love doing this every week with you. Jeremy, thanks for coming down and being part of this, because it's fun chatting
This
football
was fun.
with you,
This
man.
was great.
And of course, thank you on the UCC side for all the support. We very much appreciate it, and I've loved that we're getting friends on top of this. This is fantastic. Where does everybody find you if they're looking online to follow your Esk stuff?
At Jer McConnell.
Perfect. J-E-R.
Two C's, 2 N's, 2 L's.
Okay, yeah, that's good. 2 C's, 2 N's, 2 L's. Okay, that's good to
J-E-R.
Perfect.
Oh, you could almost have some kind of sing along to that.
Yeah, we got to figure that out.
It was hard as a kid because you only get one letter in little alphabet packs.
Oh yeah,
didn't always work out so well that way.
I can understand that. Commissioner Kayla, where does everybody find you?
On the Twits at Duchess Lombardi.
Lovely. And make sure you follow Superfan Mike at 56 Parkies. And of course, me at Free Policious and the show at Esk Empire Pod. Thank you again to EarthKwaku for joining us because he's amazing. Mm-hmm. And of course, Steve from the Piffles Pod as well for the game preview. Thank you again to our sponsor, United Construction Company. Make sure you check out their website at unitedconstruction.ca and of course, Twitter at UCC_EDM. You down with UCC?
Yeah, you know me.
There, I see. I queued it up for you. Perfect. Let us know, of course, if you want to come to West of us in the park. We're only 2 weeks away. It is going to be such a blast. Make sure, of course, you find us on all of our social channels, and you can find all the links on eskempire.ca. We will be back next week with a brand new guest. There is a possibility of having an alumni in the district district. We will see how that goes. But I guess, is it time for the defense to shore up against the run?
Absolutely.
Can we actually keep the penalties under 10?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And is it time to grab hold of second place with a big win?
Absolutely.
I said that, I was trying to pick the riders. Anyway, for Jeremy, Commissioner Kayla, and Superfan Mike, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you next week.
You hypocrite.
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.